This episode is going to be extremely important. And we're not just talking about taxes today. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the biggest new law changes that I've ever seen in my adult life. And not knowing this new law change could cost business owners up to $500 per day. What's up, family? Welcome into another episode of Tax-Free Living, where I teach entrepreneurs just like you how to live tax-free. Make sure you watch this episode from beginning to end so that you can avoid this $500 per day penalty. Okay? So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also share this with a friend, right? Help yourself, but definitely help somebody else. Okay, so what am I talking about, right? What is this new law that's so important that has this crazy hefty penalty, right, that every business owner needs to know about? Okay, so for those of you all that don't know, there's a company called FinCEN, okay? This is like the sister company of the IRS, right? So FinCEN stands for Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. And FinCEN came up with the new act called the Corporate Transparency Act, okay? And the Corporate Transparency Act is going to require all business owners to have to submit a new type of report for all of their business entities, okay? And this new report is called the Beneficial Ownership Information Report, right? And we'll talk about what that means, who needs to do it, why you need to do it. But FinCEN came up with the Corporate Transparency Act that's going to require all business owners to submit this BOI report for all of their businesses, right? So starting January of 2024, right? If you have a LLC, if you had an LLC before 2024, right? You have to file this report by December 31st of 2024. So if right now is 2023, we're in December. And so if I have two LLCs in December of 2023, I have until December 31st of 2024 to file this BOI report to make sure I stay in compliance with the Corporate Transparency Act. Okay. So if you have a business, you have a little time, but I want you to know this at the top of the year so that you can get it out the way. Because here's the real crazy part. Okay. Here's the real crazy part. If you decide to set up a new entity in January of 2024, you only have 30 days from the day of filing your entity paperwork to then file the BOI report. And if you don't file the BOI report within 30 days of filing your new entity, the penalty is $500 per day. Okay? So this goes for, this is important for all old business owners and all new business owners, because it can cost us a lot of money and fees and penalties if we don't do it, or if we just don't know that we need to do it, right? And unfortunately, guys, just saying I didn't know is not going to cut it. Like, they are not playing. When I say this is the biggest law update I think I've seen in my adult life, I mean it, because they're not kidding at all about this. This is not a maybe penalty. This is like, and matter of fact, let's talk about it, right? Like, what is the exact penalty? So the penalty is going to be $500 per day per entity, up to $10,000 per entity. So if you have one entity, it's $500 a day, up to $10,000. If you have two entities, it's $500 a day, up to $20,000, right? Or if you don't want to pay the penalties, no problem. All you have to do is spend 2 years in federal prison, right? So pay the penalties or 2 years in federal prison. Either way you take it is not a good deal. So I want you all to understand the importance of this so that you're not caught in the wave of these penalty or this jail time. Okay. So now let's take a deep breath and let's dive a little bit deeper into this Corporate Transparency Act, see who this is for, see what we have to do about it, and how we can best set ourselves up to win. Okay. So who does the Corporate Transparency Act affect? It affects all business owners if you have one of these type of entities: LLC, LP, LLP, S Corp, C Corp, partnership, right? Any structured entity type, this applies to you. Okay? The only entity that it doesn't apply, is not applicable for is if you're a sole proprietor, this doesn't apply to you because a sole prop is not an actual entity, right? You don't have to file any paperwork to be a sole prop. You just say, I want to start a business. Guess what? You're now a sole prop. So if you have any entity outside of a sole prop, this affects you. Okay? So, if you have multiple entities, you have to do it for each of them too. Don't think just, I got 4 LLCs, I'm gonna do it for one. No. And all my real estate people, all my real estate owners that have properties in different LLCs, things are getting kind of real for you. Okay. So now that we know who it affects, I think it's important to understand why they are doing this, right? So FinCEN came out and made a statement and said, hey, like there are so many people operating illegal businesses and sheltering themselves behind LLCs and not having to put their name as ownership, right? So there are, I forgot, I think they said 4 million or 40 million. I don't know how many LLCs in America right now, but there are so many people doing illegal business. There are so many people who are scamming, and there are people who are doing sex trafficking or either other type of trafficking through LLCs, through EINs, but because they don't have their name on the LLC, because they might have it in the trust, or they might not have to list the managers, the IRS and FinCEN can't do anything about tracking down these falsified LLCs. So they had enough of it. They're like, dude, all these people are laundering money. All these people are scamming people through LLCs. We have to do something about it, even if it affects the innocent people, right? So they came up with the Corporate Transparency Act, which will require everyone, if you file an entity, to give them your name, your address, and I believe it's your social as well. But here's the thing, guys. The information won't be public. It'll be private for FinCEN only. So it's not like you have to put your home address on your EIN or your home address on your LLC documents, but they need to know who's the owner, right? FinCEN needs to know. They're not gonna issue it publicly, but they need to know privately. And another reason, this is just me, another reason I think they're doing this is we have so many people who live in one state, but set up their LLC in a different state that they don't do business in just to avoid state taxes, right? So there are people that live in California, but because they don't want to pay California state taxes and they don't want to pay California's $800 per year franchise tax fee, they set up shop in Nevada. Even though they live in California and they do business in California, they set up in Nevada so they can avoid state and registration taxes. That is illegal, right? That is illegal, but it's really hard for the IRS and FinCEN to match and really get to the bottom of, do you live there? Are you doing business there, right? But now with this new BOI report, you need to put your name, social, and your home address, right? So think about this. I live in California. I register my LLC in Nevada. I say I'm doing business in Nevada, but in my BOI report, I give them my home address and it's in California. They're going to be able to match that BOI report against the LLC. Like, okay, Hey, Adam, you said you're the owner of this A&E Enterprise LLC. So, right? So we see this in your BOI report. We see that you set up shop in Nevada, but we see that you live in California. Can you let us know why your entity is in Nevada? Can you please prove that you're doing business in Nevada so that we can know that you're properly registered there? Right? So I think on top of all these things, that's another way they're going to be able to catch anybody who has entities in the wrong state. So if I were you, starting 2024, I would make sure your entity is incorporated in the right states. Okay. So now I think it's important to understand, what do we need to do about this to make sure that we protect ourselves properly? Okay. So how do we file the BOI report? Where do we go? How do we shield ourselves from having to pay this penalty? Well, you can go to, what's the website? You can go to www.fincen.gov/BOI, and you can learn more on the website. Starting January 1st of 2024, FinCEN is going to release the BOI application on their website. So if you go to their website today, you can learn more information, but it's not there. But starting January 1st of next year, the application will be there, right? And they say it's a short application. They say it's a short application that you'll be able to fill out. So most people are going to want to do this on their own. Well, I can go in there, file the report, and done. I don't recommend you do that. Because although you only have to file the BOI report, at least from what we know now, you only have to file it once per entity, but you have to update the report into perpetuity if one of these three things happen. If you change your business address, if you change your personal address, or if your entity changes ownership. So if one of these three things happen, you have to go back into the FinCEN site and update the reporting within 30 days. And if you don't, $500 per day, up to $10K, or 2 years in jail, right? So although it might be easy to do the first time, is it worth messing up? And if you change your personal address, change your business address, or update owners, are you going to remember to update the report within 30 days? So I personally think, as business owners, guys, this is not something we should be doing on our own. We should hire a company to do this for us so that we don't have to worry about messing up. We don't have to worry about not updating it. And I also think everybody needs to have a registered agent, right? Because if FinCEN ever sends you a letter and you have a virtual address, but your virtual address doesn't have mailing, you won't know about it. But it's the registered agent's job to receive all important paperwork and get it to the owner as quickly as possible. So not only should you not do this on your own, but you also should probably get a registered agent, right? Now, as part of Melanin Money and for our members in our community, we have partnered with the company that is going to handle all this for our students and our clients, because I don't want to do it. And we know they don't want to do it. So like, if you're looking for a community that's going to help you with this, go to melaninmoney.com/join, right? You can join our community, and then you have access to our referral partner that is not only going to update this BOI report for you starting January 1st of next year, but they will also make any revisions if you change ownership, change address, or change business address, and they're willing to sign the documents for you to say that they submitted it, right? So they're willing to put themselves on the line. So if you want to be part of our community to get access to this network, www.melaninmoney.com/join. Other than that, guys, that's it. I really hope you all watch this. I really hope you all I've learned something from this, because we got a month before things get real. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.